to order. A couple of housekeeping things is, if you have your cell phones with you, we'd appreciate if you would silence your cell phones. Second thing is, if you wish to address the board tonight, we encourage you to fill out a citizens communication card. Already have several already for tonight. If you'll get those to our city clerk, she'll get that to me so that you can be recognized. The next thing is for the board's purposes, our regular item agenda number 9 has been pulled from the agenda for tonight's meeting. So we don't have any items to address on our regular agenda tonight in that manner. This time we'll have a roll call.
Director Smith?
Here.
Director Roberts?
Here.
Assistant Mayor Harris?
Here.
Director Hollibush?
Here.
Director Brewer?
Here.
Director Jewell?
Here.
Mayor Brown?
Here. At this time, we'll stand for our invocation given by Director Steve Smith. Our Pledge of Allegiance tonight will be led by our Animal Care and Adoption Center Director, Lenore T.
Dear Heavenly Father, we just come to you this evening and thank you for those that are here that serve and sacrifice their time. We pray and thank you for the opportunity to gather the way that we do. We just pray that we can move forward with the items tonight before us. Give us guidance, clarity, and wisdom. We pray for safety as we leave and blessings to everybody. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. This time, we'll get right on into our citizens' communication time. Cody?
I'm a little nervous. Simply, I just wanted to touch base on the barricades downtown. I know they've been implemented roughly the last 2 weeks for certain issues that have taken place. They are impeding on my business now and inflicting, wounds upon, my doors, allowing no traffic, no foot traffic. People don't want to walk a long distance. I'm simply not for them at the end of the day. I believe the last time I spoke was on this exact matter when we were talking about permanent barriers, probably 2.5 years ago at the time under, I think it was Cram. And we got that kind of pushed to the side and we decided to put up speed bumps. I don't know where they went. I believe they were taken out prior to the Christmas parade, and they've never been implemented back in. I think they work pretty good, and that allows traffic to flow through. It slows down those who are trying to, act a little foolish and cause chaos downtown. I'm for the speed bumps at the end of the day, but I just really think the barriers are just bad overall. When people come downtown and they see them, they just automatically turn around and go somewhere else and spend their money elsewhere. And that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to grow downtown. And it just feels like we're kind of choking off the very businesses we've tried to create. And so I just kind of wanted to speak on that behalf today and just let y'all know where I stand on it. So I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I had a question.
Okay.
Sir,
Cody, he has a question for you.
okay. I was just trying to say, you didn't give the name of your business.
The Wild
Was it
Hair.
what was
The Wild Hair.
Wild Hair, okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Miss Owens? See here? There's it.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Board of Directors. Back again with another activity that we are having concerning this violence in our city. And I want to pause and thank you, Mr. Mayor, for being at my brother's ceremony. That was beautiful. I want to share these flyers with you. We're having a picnic on Saturday. This is a citywide picnic. We're partnering with the DJ Holly Room Saturday about the violence awareness. We want to take this to you. We really would like for some of you guys to come and be a part of it, just to show your face, wave, or to have a word or something with the community, or perhaps some of the ward people that you serve. We really, it's just so much violence going on. I was at my young cousin's funeral a couple of weeks ago. He was 22 years old. And even though he was shot on the Texas side, it's just among the amount of shootings that's going on in our city. And we just need to say to these shooters and these people that's committing these violent crimes, we just don't want it in our city. And the only way I know is to make some type of noise to say, hey, you know, somebody is concerned about the things that you're doing in our city that we don't like. And I wish that this board of directors, along with our mayor, would get on board to say something to these people that are committing these crimes. Grateful to Chief of Police Chataway. He and his department has been instrumental in all of the things that we've done. And for those of you that have participated, I appreciate it, but I would love to see your faces. This would be a good day to see you. It's Saturday from 10 to 4 p.m., and we're looking forward to having a good time, just sharing love, and again, letting these violent crimes, not just gun violence, domestic, whatever violence it is going on in our city, we don't want any of it, and we want to make that statement. Thank you.
I believe the last name, is it Boyd or Bird or? Boyd, yes, ma'am.
Good evening. I'm Renee Boyd. I live at 1924 Ash Street, and last 2 months, within 2 months, we've had 6 coyote sightings, and they roam the streets. That's him right there. And he comes out between 11:30 at night and 5:15 in the morning. And I've called the city. They said to call, they transferred me to street department. Street department transferred me to the animal rescue, and they said they had nothing to do with it, and they said they didn't know who I was supposed to talk to. So that's all I'm trying to figure out. Who do I contact to get this thing? Because one of our neighbors he's charged one of our neighbors. Actually, the house that was right across the street, he charged her in the house.
Tyler, I'm not for sure who we would use to try to handle that.
We've attempted in the past, been unsuccessful, but Ms. Boyd, did you put your contact information on the
Yes.
card? Okay, I'll get that from the mayor and give you a call and see what we can do.
Okay, because I was told to shoot it, but if I shoot him in the city limits, then that's discharging a firearm. So,
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I'll give you a call tomorrow and we'll see what we can make happen.
okay, and also, on our
I got
street,
one thing to say on that.
sir,
I got one thing to say that. I've seen that coyote as well. Mainly they're on Beach Street, Ash Street, and Glendale.
Mhm.
Yeah, seen them in your yard as well.
yeah, there's cats coming up, our pets are coming up missing.
Yes.
And you can't put your trash out, because if he smells food in the trash, that's gonna feed him, and he's gonna keep coming back.
I understand.
What was that address again, ma'am?
1924 Ash Street.
You had something else, Ms. Boyd? you
Yes,
said?
sir, the stop sign right there, I've contacted the city for 4 years, asking them about that street sign, the stop sign, because where it is, people cannot see, they have to stop and then move out forward, and I've seen almost accidents where they can't see, because there's trees on the opposite side.
What intersection is that, Ms. Boyd?
This is a different one. This is the one that was too far back.
Yes,
Now, this is the one that you can't see with the trees.
yes,
So there's 2 different stop signs. One you can't see and one is too far back.
yes, sir.
Okay.
What are those intersections?
20th and Ash.
They're both at the same
Yes, sir.
intersection?
One
Okay,
is on this side, that's my yard where that stop sign is,
Okay.
and one is across the street.
okay. We can take care of that.
That one, right there is, you can't see even the street numbers.
Hey, Tyler, you have one in 19 in Ash that's going southbound. That's the one that's covered by the vegetation. And the one going northbound, and it's like offset like 10 feet back where it needs to be closer to the curb, where the egress routes of well, east and west. See right there? That's where it needs to go closer to the curb, because where it is right now is 10 feet back, from that route, that intersection right there. In that particular area, there's two large trees to the left, and you can't see the traffic that's coming in from the west.
Okay.
Ms. Boyd, do you mind sharing your phone number I can put on this so they can contact you, or you want to write it on here?
Yes, I can give it to you.
Oh, you-
You want to say that one?
Okay, thank you.
And do we still have a curfew in Texarkana?
Yes, we did.
Because we've had, since school has been out, we've had the, I didn't even know they still did it, was the ding and dash, where they ring your doorbell and run off. And 2 houses down, they did it at this guy's house, and he came out with a gun and a bat, says, which one do you want? So these kids need something to do, or enforce the curfew, because I don't want to see these babies hurt. Because they tell you how they feel about you, and they're 9, 10 years old. And one little kid told me, he said, go call my mama, she ain't gonna do nothing. But it's too much going on, and too many kids can pick up guns, and they think it's a joke. But when I saw that guy walk out with a gun and a bat, and I heard him say, which one do you want?
So somebody refresh me, what are those?
They ring your doorbell and run off.
What are the times, curfew times?
11 p.m. during weekdays, 12 p.m. on weekends. 12 a.m. on weekends.
Oh,
What age is that restricted to? Teenagers, 16, under 18.
All right, any other questions for Ms. Boyd? Thank you, Ms. Boyd.
you're welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Boyd.
Cecil Cox.
Hello, Mayor and all of the directors. I'm here on behalf of Iron Mountain Neighborhood. My thing is about, well, the problem we generally have, we've had some misunderstandings with Tri-State Iron and Metal. It's been an ongoing thing. But my beef for right now is that there's always metal being cut all the time, and I've mentioned it to them, and this is like 2 years ago. And they say, okay, we're going to move wherever a station that they're cutting this metal, they're going to move it to another area. Well, it never got moved because they said, well, we have a gas line that's right here, so we can't move it. And one of the supervisors told me that, normally we have a certain amount of people cutting, so I'm going to reduce it down to 2. And I appreciate that part on it, but still, this the effect, you still smell this stuff. And if anybody smell carbon, what it's like, gets in your bedroom, or you can't open your door, you can't air out your house, or anything like that. We've all tried to understand certain things, but it can, long-term health is what we're all trying to have. No one wants to get sick behind anything like that. My thing is, I was wondering, if they were going to get some new machine to manufacture or shred various parts or metals, they would do whatever they could to get that approved or move it. But since it's just a small thing like this, I guess what they would assume, they're not taking care of it. No one wants to smell those fumes. No one wants to be sick, and we all complain about that. And there are a lot of other things that goes on that we've mentioned before, but just this particular item here, I just wish that some way something could be taken care of, or someone could do something about it, because I'm tired of smelling it, and all of us in the neighborhood are. And that's all I would like to say about that. Thank you.
Thank you. Lead out.
I'm back for a follow-up. I was told the last meeting that they were gonna pull the ordinance and see what Ken Mike will help us out in the Mount Edition, so I don't know, did y'all ever get a chance to put an ordinance, something could be done to help us, or?
Liddell, I've got a 3-page paper here, right here, that lists all of the regulations and the ordinances that have been placed over the years. It dates back to 2004. I have not been able to go through and mark compliance on each one of them or whatever, but I will get that done tomorrow. But we do have a list of every regulation that's in our ordinance that they have to abide by.
Okay, and to back up what Mr. Cox just said right here, which is my neighbor, are y'all even aware that, is that part of the ordinance that they can even have that machine over there cutting that metal like that? Is that got anything to do with the ordinance, or is it just something they just do because they want to do it?
Yeah, I don't recall seeing anything about cutting in these regulations. I'll go back through them and
Well,
check
it
to be
discusses
sure.
a shredder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he talking about cutting the metal though. This ain't got nothing to do with the shredder machine. And I'm glad you said it because I did see you out and I told you, I shook your hand, I'm saying, I'm so glad somebody finally courage to come out to see something. And I seen you out there. And you witnessed that smoke while you stood there. And you witnessed the noise as you stood there. We talked. And that's what I told Mr. Cox, it's time that y'all come up and let's tell him what's really going on because the city attorney came out. He got to see that smoke hitting your house. He looked at it. He heard the sound. And I told some more neighbors that you finally came out and they can't believe that somebody finally listened, go try to give us a little help in the Mount Edition because it's bad over there. And I know you smelled it, you seen it. The noise is just, it's out of hand. And ain't nobody current. And all we ever hear about is an ordinance that they got a right to do this and they got a right to do that. And they don't even went far enough to say they're not going to change the hour they operate, no matter what nobody say. And if the city try to stop him, this out of his mouth, he stood right here and said this, like I'm standing here. If the city try to stop him, he'll sue the city. So who do we go to? I mean, it's like we don't even matter. And if some stuff in the ordinance that could be changed, that could make them change what they doing, we gonna need y'all help to do it. We didn't put the machine over there. Y'all let them put it over there.
How is the cutter different from the shredder?
Now,
Okay.
see, what he's
That's
saying
two different-
doing, with his house, at his house, just say you got a block, an engine block, right? And you taking the torch to cut it. They cutting it, and as they make the smell coming from what they cutting, it's flowing through the neighborhood. This ain't got nothing to do with the shredder. The shredder,
Okay, what kind of device is used to make the cuttings that you're saying?
a torch.
It's a torch.
It's a torch. Yeah, they're using a torch. And also on the other end, out here, on the end where I'm at, they got a whole maintenance building. And they do a lot of sandblasting over there, a whole lot of blasting and stuff. I mean, we hit with a smell on either end of it.
Is the torch used outdoors or indoors?
Outdoors. And the city attorney seen the smoke. He just happened to be riding through and I was walking. He see the smoke floating from over there through the neighborhood. I got plenty of videos. I just didn't get a chance to get them made before I come down here.
Do you know if that is violating their requirements to operate outdoors as far as the cuttings?
That's what we don't know nothing they violating. That's why I keep coming to ask y'all, what are they violating? What can and what they can't do? That's what we want to know. And since the city gave them permission to do it, and the planning committee gave them permission to do it, can somebody step in and put somebody over there to do some investigation to see is we being protected? I mean, cause we are here hire an attorney and get them to do this and do that. Why should we have to hire an attorney? We didn't let them put the machine over there. We going through it in the neighborhood. The whole neighborhood is suffering. The whole block is suffering. And I talked to the chief. He said he's going to go out and speak to some of the neighbors just to get firsthand of what's going on. But it's ridiculous. And I was so glad to see this man over there. No matter if he do nothing or not, he came out and he looked at it. It's totally ridiculous over there. And it's still going on till midnight. No matter what they shredded, they still going on till midnight. And and they started building over there. That's what's so bad about it. They started building. They started putting new stuff over there. So we just say we don't matter at all. The neighborhood don't matter.
Well, I would think as an ongoing business,
Yes.
they're going to continue
And
to do that.
and they're going to continue doing everything they doing until y'all step in, because we can't stop them. Y'all got to step in somewhere. If you can't do them, but regulate the hours. We're not asking them to shut down. Everybody needs a job. We understand it. But would you want to hear that to midnight at your house? Or would you want to breathe off room that you know killing us? They know they killing us. They know it. Y'all know it, they know it. We know
Your time's up, Leo.
the flu is killing us. We need y'all help.
Mr. Barcy?
Good evening. My name is Brenda Bursey. I reside at 3720 County Avenue. It's amazing how patronizing people are. You tell people, and this is not on my paper, but just what I observed, that you're going to tend to their problems. I'll look into it. I've looked into it. You've looked into these people's problems for 2 or 3 years. What sense does that make? 2 or 3 years they've been complaining. And to my understanding, your positions, health, safety, and welfare of the citizens is your responsibilities. I am here to continue my reflections from the last meeting concerning the injustice that I feel that this city administration and council imposed upon the Laurel Street minority neighborhood by rezoning it to C3 open display. A zoning that the chairman of the zoning commission stated would allow a junkyard to exist in this neighborhood. This is what you voted to allow. I hope that the council members from that missed the last meeting got a chance to preview my last statements. We open this meeting each time with a prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. A prayer to say that you would do what is morally right in your decision and actions, and a Pledge of Allegiance to say that you will follow the rule of law in your decision and actions. But history has recorded where people in power have failed on both accounts of morals and rule of law. Marginalized people and communities have been taken advantage of for the benefits of individuals, businesses, cities, and the government in land acquisitions and placement where you put your dirty businesses. As in the rule of law, an example, blacks were given the right to vote by the federal government, but there were people who did not accept this law. So they created new laws and added extra stipulations such as literacy tests to obtain their objectives to limit the black vote. So what am I saying in regards to this situation? For you to obtain what you wanted for the city and for Mr. Duffer, you disregarded the vision of the city, the legal definition of retail, and the fraudulent application of the requester. I listened to the city manager state that they have dotted the I's and crossed the T's. A councilman said they had a check and balance system to keep things in line. Well, where were they in the process when you tried to rezone Mr. Duffer property to the same PUD that you're having trouble with Tri-State? You tried to put a PUD right downtown, next to the post office, next to a historical site in a minority neighborhood. That passed through. Now that PUD passed through the planning department, passed through the planning commission, PUD. Now was illegal. Passed through the lawyer and the city manager, passed through the council, until a concerned citizen brought it to your attention that it was not legal. City department employees knew. I cannot comprehend that went through that many departments without someone knowing that it did not follow the legal description. Somebody intentionally let that through, thinking no one would catch it. Implementing illegal intent, disregarding the rule of law to obtain the objective that you wanted and for Mr. Duffer. A city councilman said, if we do not trust our city officials and representatives, what are they there for? I pose that same question. If the citizens can't trust that you will uphold the vision of the city, and trust that you will follow the rule of law, and trust that you will not make decisions and to protect the health, safety, and welfare, what are you here for? The citizens of Texarkana, Arkansas does not deserve these situations. They do not deserve unmasked city officials and zone representatives. Our several meetings, I have heard this council relinquish power to the city manager. He can forgive liens on properties. He can decide what goes on the city council agenda. Next, he's going to decide who gets up here and speak before the council. The city might need to change from a mayor-council form of government to a city manager-council form. The more power you give an unmasked leader leads to someone who does not dispense justice equally. Power tends to corrupt. Power attracts the worst and corrupts the best.
Are you almost finished?
I am finished. I'll be back. Thank you.
Is there anyone else that wishes to address the board? David?
Just real quick, just 3 quick points. Dave, PV 105 Olive. I would think that they got good people over there at Tri-State. They're good people. It seemed like there's something could be worked out with them to see if they could, if y'all can make an ordinance to extend it to 12, y'all should be able to find out if there's really has to work till that time. Maybe you could do another ordinance so it'd stop at 8 or 9. So it seems like that that was in your power to do that. And then that was the first I heard about the smoke thing or whatever it was up in the air. And we certainly don't want the EPA down here fussing at us, and I'm sure they don't either. So that might be something that needs to be dealt with. And then with Cody, I agree with everything he said except for the speed bumps. Closing, making everybody walk down to Verona's when you have older type people going over there, not to talk about anybody here, but anyway, thank y'all very much.
Yes.
Mr. P. I'm just responding to you. I tried to put forward an ordinance before the issue, before the planning commission, to limit their time to 6:30. But before the planning commission, I was told that could not be done. So it was a time that was presented for they to stop the action by 6:30. So
What do you mean it couldn't be done?
they said that due to the PUD, that it'll be up to them to come and change the time on that, and I could not change the time. So that was put forward for them to change the time.
Are you talking about Tri-State?
Yeah, Tri-State,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I would think,
Tri-State.
I would think that y'all would override that, so that's what my belief would be, but I'm not sitting over there. But I think it should be looked into in any case, because there's an issue, and y'all have heard it all, so very, very well, elegantly spoken.
All right,
Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Anyone else? Anyone else? If not, we'll move into our presentations. Tonight, we have some service employee awards, employee service awards that we would like to give out. I think there are 2 of these employees are here, 2 are not. The 2 that are not here, Michael Rainwater, 5 years with the Bi-State Maintenance, and Brandon Dickinson with TWU for 5 years. If y'all give them a round of applause. And then I believe we have Micah Birchfield, IT, 10 years. We have Joe Saganero with TWU, 25 years. Okay, moving on into our consent agenda. Tonight, we have quite a few items on our consent agenda, mainly pertaining to the airport. Item number 2 is approval of the minutes of the regular meeting on May 19th. Item number 3 is to adopt a resolution approving the Texarkana Airport Executive Director to sign a work order for Garver Engineering for the self-service AV gas fuel tank design and administration. Item number 4 is to adopt a resolution approving the airport director work order with Garver Engineering for a vehicle service road design. Item number 5 is to adopt a resolution approving the Texas County Airport Director to sign a work order with McClellan Consulting Engineers for the airport apron Phase 3 construction. Item number 6 is to adopt a resolution approving the airport director to sign a work order with McClellan Consulting for the airport pavement rehab project. Item number 7 is to adopt a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with RBIS LLC for the U of Way Water Extension and Looping Project. And item number 8 is to adopt a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter a contract with Spears Engineering for the design of the Ready Site Water and Sewer Extension Project. What would be the desire of the board?
Motion to adopt.
Second.
So I have a motion and a second to adopt the consent agenda. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The consent agenda passes. So item number 9 has been pulled to a further meeting. We move into Board of Directors commentary. Yes.
I guess I got, I guess 9 things to bring up, but I'm gonna start off with this. At the last board meeting, there was a lady came up and stated that there was some tree limbs left over by SWEPCO, and she said that she called Director Brewer, and within 4 hours, they was picked up. My question is, if you don't mind answering it, Mr. Director Brewer, who did you call to pick that up?
I have a contact there in the Public Utilities Commission, and that name, I have that number, and I can give you that name as well.
Okay.
That's,
Okay.
yes, I'll pass that on to you.
Okay.
I don't have the name, the number in front of me,
Okay.
but Holly, she's on that Public Utilities Commission along with Lisa Thompson, and so we all serve that together.
Okay, the reason why I asked that question, because back over there, there was some tree limbs that they cut almost 3 years ago, which maybe I've been contacting the wrong people. I've been contacting the city, see could they come and pick it up at the 900 block of Cleveland Street and Drone Street, and they was cut down around Thanksgiving almost 3 years ago, and they haven't came and picked it up yet, so. And then my next issue around 1604 Pearl Street, it was repaving and repair from a drainage pipe. That's when the last city manager was here. That's when that was done. But what happened was they haven't came back and fixed the street that they tore up. It was a drainage issue when the water wasn't draining. It was draining over there in the yard, and they haven't came back and fixed that up. Then the next issue, number 3, High Point Court near Building 220 and 221. It was a cut request last year, and like I said, and that still has never been cut. And most of these, I'm looking at these, I have let the city manager know about it before this board meeting one way or another, either by text on the phone or by email. So I'm not trying to bring up something that had never been brought up to him, so. Then next, there was pothole not filled in Ward 2, especially around Linden Street, Senator Street, and 5th Street. That was around June. And now, this year, I was sent about 4 or 5 page pothole for Ward 2, and they still ain't been done. And my question is, I seen the guy yesterday, the day driving down driving down Pinehurst Street. In the truck, and then I also seen them driving past Pinehurst Street in the little truck that pulled that. But my thing is, if you point 5 miles, about 3/4 of a mile from the city bone, and you going way across town to do pothole repair, like me, you ought to be able to do the pothole repair that is closest to you. So, and that's what I don't understand there. Then number 5 is Seaver Street. There's the 8A block of Seaver Street. There's rocks and the debris. The manhole is still damaged. It was first damaged, the manhole, back on the, I think, April the 4th flooding. Then it had a big rain a while back, 2 weeks ago. Now you still got rocks and debris around that. And I emailed a request for that 2 years ago. I'm gonna say 2 weeks ago. Still haven't done it. Outer Street Bridge, it's still stopped up, and like I said, that's one of the issues that I met with Tyler and Roger Douglas last year about that, and it's still stopped up on that. And then there's a sinkhole next to it, Sister Bridge. Then the next thing is Pearl Street near Cleveland Street, and I met again the city manager and assistant public works, Tyler Rich, and he stated over there that he wasn't gonna do that. He said that he wasn't doing, base repair, so that is not gonna never get done, but I don't know when they're gonna get done. You didn't say that y'all wasn't doing base repair when I brought it up?
Currently.
Huh?
Currently.
Okay, well, but I'm saying, but that been going on since a year, so, and that's had not been done. And then the drainage issue on Fairview and Mitchell Street, and I don't know if the public really aware of something, what I'm stating here. I really don't know, there's no other board member actually bringing up issues that's not being done in this ward per se, so I'm just trying to figure out where's the bias coming up back for Ward 2, you know? I don't know what's going on with that, because all these lists are here have been, like I said, been told by, now this right here, the ditch need cleaning out from Park Place to Preston to the creek at Niffen Street. Now, that was requested about two weeks ago, so, but you know, most of my longer list, some of them's almost a year. And like I said, I'm gonna give this again to Tyler, before, when the board is over with, but my thing is, I'm just trying to figure out what is going on. I know he probably gonna say they don't have, well, I'm gonna let him say what's the reason, 'cause if so, I may be putting words in his mouth, but I just noticed this, that I don't see no other board member here complaining about what's not being done in their ward, so apparently, y'all getting everything done in y'all ward.
I promise you, every single one of the other board members have items on their list as well.
We share or discuss.
And but the other thing I see, and I know I might not need to say this, but we got the highest paid city manager since we the had, and our roads and streets is in the worst condition. No, and that's not a lie, so, and he is the highest paid city manager we the had, over $170,000. And by the time you add all the other stuff, probably $200-something thousand, but our streets and roads in the worst condition, so, and.
Well, I can guarantee you that we all the directors share in work, the need of work being done. You're not the only one that needs work within their wards. So, you know, and I don't think it all lies on Public Works or the city director. You know, the city needs more funding and needs more workers and everything. So I think it's unfair to put it on the staff. So
Who else you gonna put it on? He is hired here to maintain, and like I said, I had never talked about a list at the board meeting since my years here.
Well, I could.
I had never talked about a list as to what's being done.
I could share my disgust at the board meeting too, if I chose to. I just choose not to.
Yeah.
I can tell you 25 years, I mean, before annexation, I mean, in my ward, I mean, Roger can tell you, Tyler can tell you, I mean, it's not a quick fix. I mean, I got total base failure. I mean, you're putting asphalt pretty much in dirt. I mean, and these were substandard roads when we took them in from the county. Well, I mean, it's just going to take us a while to get out of the mess we got in. And, I mean, I wish I had a blank check that I could write them or the solution, but I'm not that smart.
Is any other?
You know what I'm saying now, that's 9 pages, and I know if I had to keep on bringing a list every board meeting, I probably will, till I get to see some release being done, you know, and that's probably what I'm gonna end up doing, but I can also see some things that would, like I said, these, tree limbs and all that been cut back 3 years. I know the city didn't cut them, Swepco probably had cut them down, but that's been going on for 3 years. And just like the street repair that was done by the city, around the 1604 Pearl Street, that the city came and tore up the street to fix a drainage. Now, that was back when, well, I'm gonna say his name, Robert was the city manager, and that still ain't been fixed. But we still have the same person that was, at one time, city, was the public works director. Now he's the city manager, you know, and to me, things, from what I see, it's not getting any better, so.
I do want to add one thing. I don't know if y'all get complaints about garbage, litter, stuff like that. I do all the time. And, you know, people always say, well, put cameras up, put this up, have the police come out. They can't patrol every piece every street that we have at any given time. And if you see trash, pick it up. It's not that difficult. I keep a sack in my car with a grabber, and I walk my neighborhood. Is it my job? No. But it's all of our jobs. Everybody, even though you don't do it and somebody else does, pick it up. It's not just the city's response. The city's not dumping the litter and the garbage and the debris in the streets and in yards. People are doing it. There is no such thing as civics anymore that I was taught in 9th grade. They just throw stuff everywhere, don't care. And unfortunately, we can't make them care. But if you see something, pick it up. I can assure you, imagine that Tyler, Roger, anybody will find you a dumpster to put it in. That's all.
Any other board members?
Yes.
Yes.
First of all, I want to thank all the concerned citizens that have spoke here tonight, and because your concerns are very important. So I don't want you to think your concerns are in vain, because what you're living through every day, we in these same communities. It's just that continue to voice your opinion. Especially, I want to make a comment in regards to the Iron Mountain addition. I don't want to overstep my authority. That's not my ward, but that is my old neighborhood. I was born there, 1305 Hancock. And so, again, I'm highly concerned. And so I'm hoping and praying and we'll be advocating for some type of action. There's got to be some type of outcome that we can push to make this thing work. Also, I want to comment to the citizens in my ward that's constantly out there picking up the trash or what have you. I want to thank them for those teams. There's 2 or 3 teams over there that's actually making that happen. Miss Meredith, and just several. I shouldn't have just called her name because there's several teams that's picking up trash in the neighborhood on a daily basis. And also, for all the directors, I do have a number that you can call and get these limbs picked up. If you wish to take that number, I can give you that number right now. That number is 903-223-5885, and her name is Holly. She's on the Public Utilities Commission with us, and so.
Is she with SWEPCO?
Yes, she is with SWEPCO. So give her a call. You have any limbs that's still out there that need to be picked up? She has direct access to those teams that's picking those limbs up. At this time, Mayor, I'll yield. That's all I have.
Anyone else? Tyler, you have anything?
I do not, no, sir.
Anything else? Our next meeting will be Monday, June the 16th. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
So, a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Could you call the roll?
Director Smith,
Yes.
Director Roberts,
Yes.
Assistant Mayor Harris,
Yes.
Director Hollibush,
Yes.
Director Brewer,
Yes.
Director Jewell,
Yes.
Mayor Brown.
Yes, we're adjourned.